it's going to get way better. And we'll get to that in a minute. But I want to make sure that we're clear about what joy is and what it isn't. Joy is not necessarily pleasure. They're two entirely different things. And we tend to equate pleasure and joy as two, different sides of the same coin, and that's just not true. Pleasure is totally different. As I was saying to the kids earlier, there's a lot of rich people out there that know no joy. They know a lot of pleasure. We've been hearing a lot in the news the past few years about people who have been enjoying pleasure, but would you really say that was joy? The things of this world may indeed give pleasure. In fact, drugs like heroin give pleasure. But if you ask a heroin addict, is they ever going to say, I know joy? No. Because they're addicted to that pleasure. That false sense of well-being. That false sense of joy. It's merely pleasure. You see, the things of this world do provide pleasure, but not necessarily joy. Only God can provide joy. And that's what I was getting with the reading from Habakkuk. I know, hard to say, isn't it? But even in the midst of the world throwing us bad stuff, that God can still bring us joy and happiness. Because that's the only true happiness we'll ever know, is when we have the joy of God in our heart. Remember that old hymn that you used to sing at camp? I've got the joy, 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 joy. Oh, I don't want to sing it, but you remember that one, right? Hopefully it's getting stuck in your head as we speak. What does it say? Down in my heart, how long to stay? It's down in my heart to stay. That's what Christ brings. Life, even when that joy is in our heart, will throw us curves, will throw us days that are hard to find the joy, but that joy will never leave. I remember when I was a young man, I went to go see a movie with Patrick Swayze in it, and that was right after Roadhouse, so I was thinking, all right, we're going to get to see Patrick Swayze, do his thing, beating people up. And it was called The City of Joy. And within the first few minutes, actually, Patrick Swayze got beat up. And they took all his stuff. So he's in the slums of this large city in India. There's a Pakistan. One of those two countries. In fact, the worst slums. And he doesn't have any money. He doesn't have any identification. He has no way to prove that he is who he is. But he finds help among the people that live in the slum. And the name of the slum, it's this huge area, thousands and thousands of people, and it's called The City of Joy, hence the movie. There's also a book. And I thought at the time, number one, why is Patrick Swayze in this movie? But anyway, I thought, why would they name that place the City of Joy? That's so mean to the people that live in that slum. Because this is one of those slums. This isn't like a bad part of town. Like we say, Buffalo, South Buffalo is a bad part of town. This is a part of town where the people are so poor that some of them can't afford clothes. Imagine, too poor to be able to afford anything to put on your back. And yet, this place is called the City of Joy. And I thought that it was because people were being mean and just saying, "Oh, look over there. There's the city of joy," being sarcastic. But the people that named the city of joy were the people that lived there. Now that's crazy. They got nothing. They got less than nothing. And yet they call it the city of joy. Why? Well, I came to realize as I grew older that sometimes our stuff is what keeps us from knowing that joy that Christ is talking about. Maybe we have so much stuff. Maybe we're so not hungry that we are having a hard time knowing the joy that Christ brings. I mean, yesterday we were running around. We went to a bunch of different stores for Emily. I mean, I do stuff for Gabe too. We'll be doing that this afternoon. And I've been pondering all week, the joy. Keep the joy in your heart. And it made a huge difference because I wasn't sweating. It's like, oh, I've got to get just the right thing. It's like, I'm going to get her something. She's going to dig it. Everything's going to be all right. Because we have the most important thing. We're going to be together for Christmas. We're going to be able to share love with each other. We're going to know the love of Christ. It doesn't get any better than that. Christmas is already taken care of. The stuff that we worry so much about is precisely what is keeping us from being happy. We can't see the city of joy because we're too busy living in the city of wealth. And we are wealthy. I mean, we may not think about it. We may not think we are, but we are. And that's why we fast. That's why we pray. Is to get rid of all this so that we can see what we really need. And folks, it's nothing. It's nothing except one thing. Christ. And I kind of gave away the ending to the sermon, but anybody know how we get this joy? Teddy bears. What's that?
Teddy bears.
Teddy bears. Yeah, yep. But who gives us the teddy bears? Ultimately, it's Christ. Then how do we get it? Do we go to the store and buy a teddy bear? Feel free. I mean, if you want to buy a teddy bear, it's okay. But that's not how we're going to get the joy. We just ask for it. I mean, how awesome is that? That's what Christ is telling the disciples. That, hey, I'm going to take care of all this. I've already taken care of all this. If you want joy, just ask me for it. Whenever you ask, I'll give it to you. And he's talking about bad things are coming. He said, you're not going to see me for a while. Then you're going to see me for another little while, but then I'm going to be gone again and I'll be back. And I mean, if I was a disciple, I'd be confused. I mean, the first time I read it last week, getting ready for the sermon, I'm like, what? What does he mean? And I mean, I have 2,000 years of time to show exactly what he meant, but the disciples imagine. You're going to go, then you're going to come back, you're going to go again, and you're going to come back. And we see exactly what Christ is talking about. It's Peter's story. Now we all know how Peter promised Jesus, I'm going to be there for you regardless of what happens. And what did he do? Say, I don't know this Jesus dude. When push came to shove, and it was time to fish or cut bait, He got to cut 3 times. 3 times. Jesus is talking about a woman in travail. Thankfully, I've never had to be in travail. But I've been around for it, and man, it looks painful. And you know what? When that baby comes, oh, that's forgotten. That baby's right there. And see Peter. Imagine Peter betraying. Because that's essentially what he did. He turned his back. Betraying Christ. Denying Christ. And then to find out Christ conquered death. Christ did come back. Christ wasn't mad. Christ didn't want revenge on Peter for denying him in the moment of truth. He wanted him what? To love his sheep. That's it. Imagine the joy. The joy that Peter felt. We know the joy that Peter felt because what happened? He became the rock the church was built on. The joy that entered into Peter's heart. The world couldn't take it away even when they were crucifying him. The world didn't take it away. We're celebrating a joy that's coming to us. That can be in us this very day that the world can't take away. Will there be trials? Will there be tribulations? Will we suffer? Yeah. But see, we're going to do that anyway. Do you want the joy in your heart? Do you want to know the joy that is to come? In the reading for the Advent candle that we used in Ransomville, it was from Isaiah where he's talking about the road to salvation. It won't have any barriers. The road to joy. It won't have any barriers. That even, and I love this part, my favorite part of the reading, even a fool won't get lost. And I'm like, well, all right, I'll make it. Even I can do it. But all we have to do is ask. We tend to think it's something so difficult that we've got to do this massive combination of prayer, fasting. When it comes right down to it now, we just have to ask. It's that simple. You want to know the joy that Christ brings this very day?